world's gone crazy. No ifs, and buts, or maybe. The world's gone crazy.
This world's gone crazy. No ifs, ands, buts, or maybes. This world's gone crazy. If you don't believe me, then relieve me of these beliefs whereby you receive me for understanding to perceive me. For beginners, you got a sharp tongue. That's really a dog one.
Good evening. This is Holy-Apostle Deen with Urbanversity. It's nice to have you here. I have some guests here, the sounds of Newark. I snatched them fresh off of an I Had moment. If you've seen an I Had moment earlier this week, they performed a little something they had just put together, and I got them here, and I just want to talk to them today about, you know, like what they're all about and what they're trying to accomplish, and, you know, how can they, you know, help the movement, you know, of trying to free our people and trying to free all people, I should say, because the I Had movement is about freeing all people. It's not a black thing, you know, it's a universal thing. It's for all races and creeds and colors, as they say. But it's about bringing us all into one mind, and that's the supreme mind, the supreme mindset of the Lord Most High. And with that said, I just want to introduce, I have USA #1D, Untitled The Caller, and Profiteer. And Untitled The Caller, he's been working with me for quite some time. I remember when we first started, he was calling himself...
I was calling myself Untitled.
No, you was calling yourself something else before that.
Hieroglyphic.
Hieroglyphics.
Yeah.
He was all hieroglyphicked out, you know, and I snatched him up. And we've been doing some pretty good work. We did some work well enough to actually be mentioned on a Paramount, I believe, program on Hellboy.
Yeah.
They talked about, yeah. I grew jihad. And Samuel the Resurrected, you know?
Hidden publicity.
Yeah, so we got, you know, we done made it already up there.
Yeah, people just don't know.
They just don't know. They got to get the whole story. But with that said, we have, let me start with Profiteer. He's a little nervous. He didn't want to come on camera, but I begged him to come on camera. But what's happening, man? You know, like... what is it all about? What you all about, man? Don't You're an aspiring young man. You know, I hear your conversations sometimes. You know, we get to talking and what have you, and I see that you're trying to do some good things. You're trying to stay strong, staying out of trouble. You know, you're not falling into the mainstream of gang violence or gangs and what have you, you know? Mm-hmm. And I like that, you know. So what's up?
Just trying to keep my head up.
Trying to keep your head up? It's about education, right?
Yeah. And a lot of stuff.
Life itself, right?
Yeah, life itself.
Life itself, you know, because we talk about, he's a little gunshot. It's amazing. It's amazing how artists are shy. Yeah. I've known quite a few of them. They get on stage and they are shy. I remember Untitled, when we first started out together, because he had started long before me, but when I snatched him up and we started doing things, working together, oh, he used to sweat bubbles on his head and that guy in Airplane, man. Sweat used to be shooting off his head, you know, and I used to have to calm him down, man, before a stage act. You know, because he would be on fire. So what did you do to get over your stage fright?
Well, like, it's almost like men don't normally get butterflies, but, like, if you're ever an entertainer, you get put into that situation, and you're somewhat of an amateur to the stage, you're going to get all these mixed emotions all at one time. And I remember one time that Holy Apostle had told me, take all that, ball it up into one big knot, and put it into the performance. So I took it, tried it, and started loving it. Started loving it. So, you know, I still get those butterflies and stuff, but now every time I get those mixed emotions, I just hear that voice. Take it all up ask Ahezaah to bless you to just put it all into one big energy burst and go forth and try to put forth his word the best way it would allow you to put it forth.
You hear that young man?
Yeah.
Remember that, right? Because he was scared too. Now the toughest guy here. This guy, he kills. He'll kill death. He'll kill death, and I seen him shaking his boots. Huh? Couldn't get him on the stage.
It took a minute for me to get on the stage.
An hour to get him on the stage. It took an hour. He talking about a minute to get him on the stage. It took him an hour to get on the stage in real time, right? And he was so shot out that he named himself Why Not? He had to ask himself, why not? I got it going on, so why not? So some of you out there in the audience, if you recognize him, he used to be called Why Not. He has performed for BET on stage. Tell him about yourself.
BET, MTV, did a couple shows closing behind DMX, Ja Rule, a couple of big acts. That was like in 2000.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Got robbed on the contest.
I cheated. I cheated on MTV.
You can't say that, though.
Yeah. But, hey, I lost in that light only to win in this one. So.
Yeah, because it was meant for you to lose. You
Yeah,
know,
it
see,
was.
a lot of times people don't realize that a loss can be a gain, and a gain can be a loss. And see, you was going hip hop hard at that time.
In the wrong direction.
In the wrong direction, and I was begging and pleading and praying and doing everything except paying you to come out. You know, I wouldn't pay him because I ain't got no money to be paying him. but the thing about it is that you lost that contest, although I believe you won it, and you lost connections with a lot of people, and some of them people is in stardom. But we know that they're not bringing the wisdom that you're bringing now with your hip hop, with your words, your poetry, your style. You know, Ahezaah's words. That's what. Well, there's the wisdom. See, you said Ahezaah's words. You know. So you know, like, so how's it been going for you?
It's been going good. I'm getting over my nervousness by just recognizing that the words that I'm spitting, that I'm trying to deliver to the audience, to the world at large, is alive. And that those words is what saved and protect me. So just to disperse that and get that out in the atmosphere is just a blessing, you know what I'm saying? So it's not, it's a nervousness at first, but it's more so of a duty that you just gotta do what you gotta do. And you know to do it hard, you know what I'm saying? So.
Well, you know what? I get nervous. I'm not nervous in front of the camera, you know? I don't know if I ever was at one time. Maybe I was. Maybe in the beginning, maybe I was. But I know when I go give lectures and things like that, I used to be nervous, you know. But the thing about it is, I'm a warrior. And see, y'all warriors. It takes a warrior to get on the stage, man, and do what y'all do and spit the words that y'all be spitting. Because y'all talking about, you brothers is like, conscious of the world, you know? Your thing, you remind me, which I remind me of is how, what was that group, Public Enemy #1 used to be in the beginning. What they was trying to do in the beginning before they got commercial. You know? And y'all spitting out some serious information, man. You know what I mean? And this young man here, how old are you now?
15.
15 years old. And he be bringing it, writing, engineering, you know, bringing the beats, producing, 15 years old. And this stuff is heavy. I had to say, praise be to Ahezaah, bow down. You know? Because the thing about it is, he knows what he's talking about, even though he's gunshot right now. You understand what I'm saying? But see, he a little dog, right? But he ain't no little bow wow. He ain't no little bow wow. Bow wow like a little chihuahua, compared to him. You understand what I'm saying?
he like a big Great Dane, man. You know, with what he's spitting. You know, so maybe we call you Great Dane. You know?
Yeah.
But the thing about it is that I love what you're doing. I love that you're supporting me and helping me out, you know, and spreading the word because, you know, the Lord has told us, to, you know, told me I have to speak the language of our people. And, you know, I know that the language that our people speak today, the ones that, you know, we're trying to reach is they speak the hip-hop language, the cultural language, you know. And if we can't save those of our youth, we don't have no tomorrow. You know? And see, I started out going after the president, Congress, senators. You'll never hear about it, but they got my stuff up in Washington D.C. They got all my 30, 40-something books. You know, the unpublished ones, and they studying them, and I see stuff coming out on television. You know, it's like I gave the governor that idea about the gun thing. Now I see the newspaper.
All over the place.
You know, he wouldn't call me back. Senator Wright said they don't want you to have no guns. They don't want nobody to have guns and or to pick up no guns and no license. And I'm like, okay, Senator. You know, now I see he putting out a newspaper. You know, the program that I gave him, that Ahezaah gave me. So I don't know what's gonna happen to him. Because he won't contact me back. He gave me an award for doing, you know, Urban Peace Day, but he won't contact me back so I can help get the guns off the street, you know, help the brothers. Because, see, I don't want my brothers and sisters to get killed out there. And I don't want them to get caught up with them guns. Because you got some that want to give them up, but they're afraid to give them, they smart not to give them up to the wrong people. Because, see, I don't like the tricks. I don't like the tricks that's being played on the people. You know, they say no questions asked, no nothing, no. You take it in, you got your fingerprints on it, you know, and then they find a way to come back to you with stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think it's right. If you're gonna be fair, just take them. You know, because see, one thing I'm a firm believer in is that, and you could tell me if I'm right or wrong. I use you for an example. Weren't you influenced by television and theater and the rap artists and what have you, and all the promotions, the billboards and stuff? Weren't you influenced to get out there and get into the gangs and situations? So and that was your education, wasn't it?
Definitely. I mean, like,
it was. But not to mean to cut you up. It was even to a point that it's not. Well, I can speak on my past life because I'm not living that life and I'm not promoting it. But it was even to a point where, as though the place where a guy that I knew came from, a movie was shot there, and it was glorifying. This was one of the most impactful movies of our generation.
A classic ghetto flick.
A classic ghetto flick. And he was from the housing projects it was shot in, and it was based on the group of people that was portraying these crimes and everything. And people to this day still watch it. And young children go back to, even though they're younger than us that wasn't around when the movie was made, they go back and be like, oh, this is where it was made at, so I'm going to be a part of that.
My brother,
Menace to Society.
Right.
It was based on the projects where the gangbanging, the Grape Street gangbanging come from. And the person that brought it to New Jersey, that brought it to our projects, was his family was from out there. So we had something to identify on and to go out and to represent it even more to a harder extent. And that was in the theaters. It was made something broad into the theaters. So it's tooken and it's twisting and it's turning. It's constantly thrown in our faces. And the sad part about it is TV shows like BET put this thing on repeatedly. Repeatedly. Old gangster movies, black gangster movies.
And they doing it now.
And still repeatedly. And it's like, all right, if they don't got us snapping and bopping to 106 and Park and all them other shows that come on.
Mommy saying, like, and me, I wasn't so much swayed into the gangster life, but I was into the music heavily. And one thing that
you was into the corrupt mentality. That's just as dangerous as being out there with a loaded gun, because if you passing that information that you was passing off, you just as bad as the next guy. You ain't got to kill to commit the crime. Who was our enemy? Look at Wesley Snipes, a big enemy of the young African Americans. He did New Jack City. Huh?
Yeah.
Denzel, a hero, best actor out. Now he's doing bad movies to get Oscars? Come on.
Yeah.
The money ain't good enough. Now you bend into the bad movie. Now they gonna follow you in that. They are enemies. The jinn is tricking them. So you ain't got to pull the trigger. Jim Brown, Jim Kelly, John Williamson, Fred Williamson, all them guys from Superfly, all them guys back in the day. They were the enemies. They pulled the triggers, man. They pulled the triggers through the mind. And they set this thing in action. And now, my thing with Jim Brown is he should be confessing instead of going out there talking about he going into the hood to help. No, confess that you started, that you was a part of it.
Even the point I was trying to say with the music, before Holy-Apostle was talking, was that the music that's produced out here for the young ones, they put the little stickers on it saying parental advisory. Like, who's really going to advise that?
That's like saying, don't go in the refrigerator because I got everything in there that you like.
Exactly. Exactly. And you go to the corner store with your little $5, you gonna buy that CD. You ain't gonna let mom.
You looking for the one that say parental advisory,
because all the rest of that you ain't turned to. You know, and these things become a soundtrack of our lives. Let's start living these words that they say are not influential, and the artists say we're not responsible for.
Yeah, they're responsible.
Yes, you are responsible for that, because those are living words that you're putting out there into the minds of others.
Yeah, because even right now, if I hear an old song that come on that was playing when I was doing my dirt, it'll take me right back to that mindset.
That moment,
Let me tell you something. We had this little guy, man. You know, small stats and everything, but he was great. He was great. One song he did, man, but he did quite a few songs, and there was a few other artists that did some good things. But when he came out on time, when I'm black and I'm proud, James Brown, back in the day, that did something for a lot of people. And this guy's up on stage, comped out, he got his hair trying to look like a white man, but he talking about I'm black and I'm proud. We know he was lying. Because he ain't have his naps. If he was proud, what happened to the naps? You understand? But the whole thing about it is that's the mentality of our people. We say a thing that we don't really believe ourselves. We say a thing that's not really, we're not firm in faith in it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I've had brothers who would come, you know, and I want to get with some of these brothers on Urbanversity out in the hood and what have you. They've come and they said, you're not what you say, or you're a liar, you this, you that. And I stand forth on my word. You understand? Because a man is, the best a man got is his word. If my word is not my bond, then I am nothing. I have no bond. You understand? Yeah. So I stand forth on my word, and I challenge anybody. I say, because I stand for them, because I understand. I said, okay, come and break this word down. Break this rule down, this law down. Tell me, show me where I'm wrong. Show me. How you gonna call me a liar if you can't prove it? How you gonna call me false if you have no evidence against me? You understand? Except your own desire. You see? So, you know, like y'all was living off of other people's desire.
That's where the madness come in.
And you didn't know how to become free. And you didn't even know, just like you didn't realize you was just as bad as him.
Exactly, but in another way.
Another way. You know what I'm saying, man?
And that's what, going back to what I was going to say earlier. And that's what it's not only being attacked with the movies and stuff as far as the street life, but they do so much stuff that they attack us from every angle. They got something for the kid that's going to college. That's studying. They'll portray a character that's doing that what he's doing, but then to find a way to get himself caught up in some other nonsense.
Right.
Even with the corrupt cop, with Denzel playing the corrupt cop, or the priest.
The whole 9 yards.
Yeah, everything.
In New Jack City, that's spent off in a lot of New Jack cities, even right down in the hood, and down there in the Ironbound section. You know, at one point. But you know, you take a look at all the advertisements, you know, we used to have a church on the corner, then a bar on the next corner. Church, a bar, church, a bar, church, a bar. You're getting drunk, and then you're praising Jesus, then you're asking forgiveness, and you're getting drunk, and you're praising Jesus and asking forgiveness. A vicious cycle. Huh? The same thing with Islam, you know, the brothers coming out, getting high, it's just Christianized Muslims getting high and doing their thing, you know, the drugs and the robberies. You even have factions of brothers thinking that in order for you to be Muslim, you had to rob banks and carrying on. It's crazy. You understand? And you got the thugs, that's the gangsters into the religions and stuff like that there. You know, but where did that come from? Theater. Huh? You look on the billboards. Alcohol commercials on the billboards for brothers all over. Now they got Hispanic rap artists in the alcohol commercials, you know, and other people to take down. Those things, you know, pictures is like words, and words are like thoughts, and thoughts are things. You understand? These things have a life of their own. They move you, you know, and you know, I suffered when I was young, you know. See, I used to run, too. I was a gang by myself, really. You know what I mean? See, back in the day, my day, see, guys say back in the day, they be going like, yeah, back in the day, 1999. I'm like, back in the day, in the 60s, we didn't have a lot of gangs. White boys, Caucasians had gangs in Newark, you know, but the early part of the 60s, we had gangs, but them gangs died out. We had a number of gangs, and they died out. As the brothers got older, that thing became a lost cause. The dope, the heroin came into Newark from the Vietnam era, and everybody got into drugs and gambling and what have you. But, you know, it was like, it was rough because, you know, you ran out there by yourself or you had a couple of partners, you know. Now, and then, you know, when you fought, you know, you had you walked away from a fight. Now you got so many cowards out there, so many chumps, punks, scaredy cats.
That don't want to fight at all.
Don't want to fight, and
don't
you know,
care to learn how to
girls under pants, I guess. They pull the trigger. They fast on the trigger. Ha! Boom. but where did that come from? They told you in TV, in theater, that it's cool and it's hardcore to shoot somebody. No, it ain't. If you hardcore, if you about something, get out there and go one-on-one. If you really got some heart, just go one-on-one, and when it's over, shake hands and say, okay, you got me. Or I got you. You understand? I have fights with guys, man. Guys have jumped me. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't scarred up. I made it out. You know? I mean, I got some hidden scars, but you know. But the thing about it is, I've had guys want to be my best friend afterwards. Because after a good fight, you gain respect for the other guy. You understand? How you gonna gain respect for somebody shooting you? All you want to do is go shoot him back, or your brother want to go shoot him, you know, because it's unfair. It's not right. And who is behind putting all them guns and stuff in our communities? You know what I'm saying? And see,
Assault rifles.
Urbanversity is we trying to get out there and reach the children, the youngsters, and get out there and try to get them this adult information. This adult mindset. It's because he's 15 don't mean he got to be thinking like he's 15, like what they make 15-year-olds think. I don't even appreciate the education they're giving in school. Isn't it boring? Make you want to go do something else, don't it? And I know that my kids had to open my eyes, and they was telling me about different videos. Where the heck you see that at? They telling me about stuff. They said, school? School? They show them that in school? Yes, in your free time or whatever time, they showing these videos. And I'm like, I'll be. And then the government is policing the people and giving the education department some kind of police authority where they think they could talk to you like they own your children. And they bring this thing of state. I tell you people, you all better go get custody of your children. You know? Because it ain't no telling what they're going to do next. But they say wars of the state until you file for custody. Black people, go file for custody for your children. Don't sit around because these laws are devil laws. You have the child, and they say you have it in this state, it belongs to the state. They want, just like taxes, they want to double tax you. I got a gift. I got a car. He gave me a gift. Now the governor saying, or the state saying, well, you got to be taxed for that. Wait a minute. The person bought it, was taxed, gave it to me. Now you saying I got to pay taxes again because the car is worth what? How evil is that? You understand? So I can't give you anything. If I give you an apple, you got to You got to give the government a nickel, you know, because I done gave you an apple. How much is that apple worth? 25 cents? You got to give them a nickel. Huh? The biggest gangsters.
Yeah, the biggest gangster.
The biggest gangsters is the politicians, the government. They the biggest gangsters. They out-gangster the gangster. They make the gangsters look small. Can you see that?
Yeah.
They take the gangsters. They had the gangsters in court talking about, I take the fifth.
Word.
Huh? We didn't even know what the fifth was. I take the fifth. He got a fifth of what? He got a fifth of what? You know? But it's good that y'all promoting peace. It's good that y'all promoting positivity, you know, and I can only hope that you're living that yourselves, you know. I can only hope that because, you know, I always had this saying, it's not so much of what you say as it is of what you do. See, people follow me by what I did, what I have done, and what I do. They hear my words, but many people can't get to my words. They see the results of my life, so they might pattern their lives after my life because they see what I'm doing, and they seeing the results of it. So it's very important that you understand, you young man, you spitting out these heavy raps. I don't want to see you get caught up, you know, you be making the newspaper, you know, and you know, he had a Tech 9 in his limousine or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because it's foolish that our people was, you know, the young rap artists, hip-hop artists, is getting caught in that kind of situation. But I fully understand it. Y'all understand it? You know why it's happening? Why don't you express that to, you know, to the audience as to why that's happening?
Well, I feel as though it's still being portrayed to them, and plus, once they get to a certain stature, and they feel as though, oh, I'd have made it. They feel like they king of the world now. You know what I'm saying? So I could go buy the gun that I saw Scarface on the TV with. I could go purchase that gun. I could go get me a safe that I could get the fingerprint scanner and all that. I could go do all that. I got the will to do that. Know why? Because I'm on TV doing commercials for important car companies. I'm doing this. They let me do everything. They giving this all to me. So why can't I just go buy guns,
So
fill up my house,
get
and do this,
that glass world type of thing. Like nothing matters. I can do what I want to do, even though I'm seen.
Yeah.
The world is mine,
You know.
Scarface.
And then not only that, they do what they want to do. They rap about it, and then they know they being followed. They're like, oh, I'm Mr. Untouchable. And then until they get touched, and then everybody want to come together. Free so and so. Free so and so. So you know what so and so did? Do you know what so and so purchased? Free him for what? He got to pay for what? You know what I'm saying? But it's still, it's a trap, and it's the same thing that they rap about. The trap. The trap. They promote the trap to these kids. Oh, it's a trap. Oh, I'm a trap star. I'm the star of the trap. I done made it out until they find themselves trapped.
And a major
until
trap star.
Yeah.
Just got caught on those
a major person that say he's a trap star just got caught in the trap.
Who is
now,
that?
T.I.
T.I. See, I don't know too much.
Yeah,
T.I.
yeah.
I know T.R.I., but I don't know T.I.
It's the
T.I.
source.
That was the name of his first album,
Yeah,
Trap Music.
Trap music. Oh, I trap this now. I'm going to start a trap. Then they promoting the trap. But see, just like it's a universal law. What you put out there comes back
Right,
around.
too.
You giving the kids the trap, promoting the trap, putting the trap in their face.
So
and
how
they come
many
out,
of them
you
know
trapped.
that?
Like,
How
oh,
many of
snap.
them know that?
They know it now.
They don't really know
Right
that.
now.
See, the whole deal is this. They're still not responsible. You know why I can say that? They're responsible for the immediate act. But for the mindset, who gave them that mindset?
Wow.
But they must pay because the Lord say, I called you and the devil calls you. Huh? So, you know, it's like equal. Or actually the devil allegedly said that, would say that. I called you and the Lord called you, and the Lord, your Lord is my Lord. I didn't make you do it, but the devil will suffer and you will suffer too.
If you don't believe me, then relieve me of these beliefs whereby you receive me for understanding to perceive me. For beginners, you got a sharp tongue that's really a dog one.